G'day guys, and welcome to another video here on Drumming with Jack. Now in today's lesson, I'm going to show you 4 different ways that you can take a simple beginner drum fill and bring it up to the next level. Now let's get straight into it and have a look at the drum fill that we're going to be working on. So the first way that we're going to level up that drum fill is also the simplest way. So we're going to play the kick drum on the quarter notes or stomp the hi-hat on the quarter notes. Not only does this add something to the fill, it's also good for you as a drummer when you're playing to keep that rhythm going through your fill. So you can maintain the tempo with either your kick drum foot or your hi-hat foot. Here's how it sounds. All right, moving on to the second way, we're going to level up this fill and we're going to add an accent pattern. So we're going to add a repeating accent pattern over those 4 sets of 4/16 notes. There are patterns that you'll find easier to play and ones that you'll find harder to play. I'll demonstrate a couple for you, but you can really come up with any variation that you like. Let's have a look at that fill played with 2 different accent patterns. So out of those 2, the first one is the easier, where we're just accenting the quarter notes. And the second one is a little bit more complicated. We're accenting the quarter notes and the of each of the 16ths. But like I said, some will come more naturally than others. Mess around with it and try a few different accent patterns of your own. And remember, when you're playing an accent, it does help to really accentuate it if the notes that you're playing around the accent are softer. Not quite ghost notes, but just a little bit less juice than you might give them normally. All right, let's move on to method number 3. So the third way that we're going to upgrade this fill is by replacing some of the notes with kick drum. Now it's not like what we did in the first place where we were playing the kick drum along with our hands. This is going to be taking the kick drum and putting it in place of one of the notes. Here's a couple of variations. So there you go, 2 different variations where all we're doing is taking one of the notes in each of those groups of 4/16 and replacing them with a kick drum. Now in those variations, I was adding the bass drum on the E and then on the of the 16th notes, but you can add them into the quarter note if you like. You can add in 2 in place of 2 of the notes. Completely up to you. Mess around with it and see what ones you like. And finally, onto the 4th way that we're going to work on this drum fill. So the 4th method we're going to use to level up a simple drum fill is also probably a little bit more advanced than the others, but give it a try, slow it down, and you should be able to do it. So what we're going to do is add 30-second notes, but only a pair of them in place of one of the 16ths, and it's going to be coinciding with our left hand, and all we're going to do is play a double stroke on the left. So instead of playing right, left, we'll play right, left, left, right, left. And it doesn't need to be thrown in 4 times throughout the fill. We'll just use it sparingly. We'll play it once, maybe twice throughout that fill. Here's a couple of variations for you to try. So for this 4th method, if you want to be playing it fast and you want to be throwing in those 30-second notes, you need to be working on your double stroke roll at a decent tempo. That's what's going to help unlock your ability to play a fill like that. And even if you just want to play the 30-second note pair on the E of 1 and play the rest of the fill the same, just the fact of throwing that in every now and then really elevates the fill and takes it to another level. And again, as with our other methods, there's plenty of variations that you can come up with of your own, different places you can throw in that roll. Play around with it, have a go, and see what ones you like. And that's all for today's lesson. 4 different ways that you can take a nice, simple beginner fill and take it to the next level. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you got something out of it. Comment if you've got any requests, and I'll see you on the next one.